It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Yo, man. Boom, Miss Rusty. What's up, everybody? I am back in the saddle again or something. I don't know. Whatever them kids do. I'm back. Took a little hiatus for a few days. Did some stuff, left town. So I don't know. I think the last show was Wednesday. Probably Wednesday. So let's say Wednesday was the end. Now we're back. So it's been like 5 days. So what's up now? What's up now? Welcome to the podcast, the Pub Podcast, Public Access Podcast on the Quantum Global Broadcasting Network, QGBN. And I am your host, Rusty Diamond. And yeah, dude, let's get fucking going because it's Monday morning and I'm already up doing shit. So, and you know, I have a guest on the West Coast and it was before 7 o'clock. He's up doing shit. These are my kind of people. Up early, getting shit done before everyone else is even awake. That's what I like. That is what I like. Yes, yes, yes. Call in, leave a message. I'll play it on the show. 503-974-6420. Maybe you don't like leaving messages and you're like, I don't like leaving messages.
Messages? Messages? We don't leave no stinking messages.
But I do. 503-974-6420. Today I have a special guest, as I always have special guests. This guy, I've had him on When the Gloves Come Off, the podcast. So you can go back on there and watch that one, listen to that one, however you want to take it in. You can listen to it or watch it. If you want to smell it, you maybe can. If you want to taste it, you can. I don't know how you're going to do that. I don't know how you're going to smell it either. Maybe you can feel it. You might be able to feel it. Who knows? But today, I have a special guest. I'm bringing a special guest on right here, right now. And right here, right now, we have Sonny Vaughn Cleveland. Right her sooner. But until he gets here, I think he went to go read the Bible to some people for a while. So I think that's what he was doing. So I'll bring him on when he gets here. So he'll get here soon. But again, you guys, thank you for being here and joining in on the day because why not? Why not? I'm getting to talk to people I like. And, the fact that I think, because see, like when we reached out, I don't remember how it went, but Casey and I both reached out to him and here he is. And so like, we both like, hey, we got this guy. We're going to put him on the show. And then it's like, oh, you got him too. And so it worked out well. Good, good thinking. And it worked out well for the first time. So back on again, or back on first time here on the Public Access Podcast. Here he is. How you doing?
Back for the first time.
Back for the first time. That's how things go here. There's a lot of back for the first time here. It works out kind of all right. And
is this Rusty's Fathom note taker?
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. I don't know, man. It's kind of shitty that it does this, but so it only shows up if it's like on this part of it, or it'll show up when I'm doing a share screen, but I have it set so that it only records whoever's speaking, and since that whichever way is pointed isn't speaking, then it's like it's just there. And I think there's a new, better way to do it, but this is what it has on here that does the
note taking,
whatever, like where it
transcript
goes and transcribes. Yeah, transcribes it.
So and, Zoom has an automatic transcript on it.
Huh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Have you looked into Buzzsprout at all?
I have not. Buzzsprout? Is it
It's for
like
podcasting. It's a podcasting website for podcasters. So it automatically disseminates your podcast to like Apple and Spotify, and you get to sign it all up, and it shows you stats, and it automatically transcribes your stuff. It gives you chapters. If you use the automatic shit that comes with it, the magic stuff,
yeah,
it
it's
does
all
everything
magic.
for it. Yeah, it does everything for you. Like it's a podcaster's dream, bro. I love it.
So is that what you're using?
Yeah. I use StreamYards to record and then Buzzsprout to upload.
Okay, and so because that was another thing I was looking at was the StreamYard, because I've seen a lot of my people that I have on or that are doing podcasts are using StreamYard, and it looks great.
Yeah, it does. It's so interactive and user friendly.
Yeah, and plus the fact that it records which I found out that Zoom does now too. It
Does
records
not.
the audio file separately. They
Yep.
just changed it,
Yep. And you can
and
just download the audio. And then that's what
yeah.
and then I pop that into Audacity real quick, do some little audio mixing, and then upload that to Buzzsprout, dude. And it's simple.
So what's the price for Buzzsprout then?
I
And
think
how
it's
much do you get?
I
How
think it's
much?
$20 a month for. So I pay $20 a month for StreamYards, and then I pay $20. I mean, it's a little. There's 20 for the actual Buzzsprout, but then there's another $9 for the shit. I forget what he calls himself. It's got some kind of fancy schmancy name. Hang on, I'll actually tell you here in a second. Let's see, Buzzsprout. Right. So I've got my whoop whoop whoop. Yeah, it does your titles. It gives you a bunch of different titles, gives you description, gives you chapters, gives you transcripts, gives you a visual soundbite you can download. It's got intro, outro, and mid-roll settings. Co-host AI is another something that costs a little bit, but co-host AI is the one that automatically does all your stuff for you.
Okay, I thought that was gonna be some fucking co-host that's an AI that you just for people who don't have a guest that day, and then you can just talk to
No,
someone, which is probably a thing too.
it's a guest host or a co-host, so it's awesome. So the co-host actually goes through and does all the cool shit for you, which is like it makes up social media posts and tweets and titles and descriptions and chapters and blogs. It'll write out a whole blog for you.
Oh
It's
shit.
it's pretty titties, man. And then they have the magic mixer, which automatically does your audio mixing as well. It levels everything out for you and does its best to make everything sound good.
Yeah, because sometimes I have people on who have interesting audio setups or have seem like they have never
You're so
been
much nicer than I am. Interesting audio setups, he calls
interesting audio setups is the most political way to say
Right.
interesting audio
Right.
setups.
I don't know if interesting is what I would call it, but yeah.
Yeah. And so then they record separately. They record the audio tracks for each person. So if one person has the interesting audio experience going on at their place, it will be a lot better, and it'll pick up. Maybe the other person's will be better, or
Yeah.
um,
It does its best to level it out. I mean, if somebody comes in with, earbuds and they're using their laptop built-in microphone, it's gonna sound like poop no matter what you do.
right.
But at least it sounds like healthy poop.
Yeah. Yeah, I've switched around with so much different shit for my audio, and
It's a
I have
never-ending game.
no, it's not. And I ended up like I went through all this shit. I bought soundproofing shit for all over. I bought one of the fucking the mic things that you have, the fucking the nice with the fucking mic and the spit, or the not spit guard, but
Talking about the boom arm
the
here
yeah, the boom arm, the
and
fucking
all this good stuff.
yeah, I had all that. I had the little mixer for it. Um and then I ended up fucking just got like a $30 pair of like headset
Yeah,
and plug it right into my computer.
it works
And
wonderful.
it
That's where
sounded
I'm
better
at.
than,
I have a Focusrite Scarlett interface over there. I've got a, $500 microphone up there with a sound guard around it, all that fun stuff. And then I went and got the Samson G track, and it's like I don't even use none of it. It's like $1,000 of wasted equipment just sitting on my desk like paperweights. And I'm like, because this mic, there's nothing. This is just the actual mic. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
this sounds perfect. Shit.
that sounds fucking great.
No, I cannot praise this microphone enough. Samson G track.
Yeah.
It's like $299, but man, it's worth it.
That's worth every fucking penny of it
Yeah.
to get good audio, because good audio, people are gonna, that's the easy thing for people to turn off when you get some shitty audio.
That's the trick to this whole podcasting game and social media, right? If it sounds like shit, it could be the best content in the world. If it sounds like shit, nobody's gonna watch it.
Yep, absolutely. And that happens quite a fucking bit. And it's unfortunate. It doesn't take that much to get it. Like, I mean, I know a lot of my fucking old podcasts, like, they just sounded fucking terrible because it was just always trying to figure it out. But I mean, once you get it figured out, and I mean, that's the thing with like my music shit. Like, I just like, so yeah, I mean, I'm moving and I'm trying to go through all my shit. I have like some really nice fucking synths and like, um, all kinds of advanced shit. And then I just want to use like the simple stuff. And I'm got rid of my two like really nice synths, and I'm keeping my old fucking Casio. And like, I like the sound of that better than
Right.
what the synths are doing. And it's just
And I mean,
like,
I'm
fuck,
not a
dude.
very technologically savvy individual, so I don't know how to make the most out of everything that I've got, because I know that the $1,000 worth of equipment can produce really good audio. I just don't know how
Yep.
to do it.
Right. And where's that person? That needs to be
Right.
someone that's going around and doing these, setting
Right.
up podcast studios to
And my
make
audio
them.
engineer buddy's like, well, all you can do is YouTube it, watch YouTube. And like, I'm not that kind of learner. I can't just watch a YouTube video and be like, oh, that's how he does it. Because for some reason, they always have something different than I do. Right.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of photo editing because I'm a photographer. And so I try to look up, a Lightroom video, how to do something. Well, everybody seems to make videos on Lightroom Classic, and nobody makes videos on the new Lightroom, or I just don't know how to find it. And so I don't use it. I just figure it out.
I'm a YouTube learner, and I fucking try to do this, like try to look at these things and watch them, and I can't fucking understand it because I'm getting the same thing. Like, they have something slightly different, or they use and then it's, put in my the promo code and get this
Right.
software
My
that you
favorites
need
are
too.
follow me step by step. And then you follow them, you get to like step 8 or 9. And it's like, well, I don't have that. Why does mine not show that? That's completely different. We were good up to that point, and then goes, just click this. Well, that doesn't fucking exist. So I can't click that. Why does it exist for you and not for me? This is not equality. I'm going to the White House. This is bullshit.
Fucking bringing this shit down, man. It's time to take this stuff back, man, and
This
make
is
it
a conspiracy.
simple. Yeah, this is supposed to be just trying to fucking put together something to make it sound good, and there shouldn't be this much. Or I don't know. Maybe it is set up to be that way to make it difficult to keep the people who are audio engineers in service, and keeping them working. But fuck, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a rough road, but all in the
Yeah.
love of podcasting. Right?
yeah. Same with video. Like,
Yeah.
So with your photography, are you doing like outside? Are you doing inside?
Yeah, no, I
or
mostly do I do a lot of portraits and a lot of event photography. So I shoot for like the Acrisure Arena, I shoot concerts, and I do a lot of theater photography because there's a lot of like live act theaters around here. So I'm a house photographer for like Desert Theater Works, Palm Canyon Theater. So I go in and I shoot the plays and do all their headshots and all that fun stuff. And it's a good time. And I shoot like a lot of parades, but I also have a lot of individual clients. So I do a lot of real estate photos, portrait photography, stuff like that.
So that's something else. So I've been watching a lot of well, not a lot, but it keeps coming up. So like, there's been a lot of real estate shit that I keep noticing. Like there was that South Park episode. You watch South Park at all?
I don't. I've
Okay,
seen a
well, there's
couple
an
episodes, but
there's an episode of South Park where they do one on that's basically on the realtors and with the realtor pose. It was the best part where it's the sort of like very back like this looking cool kind of thing. And
right.
it's every time, like every picture I see has that, and it's fucking funny,
Dude,
man.
in
And
Palm Springs, I swear to God, it's the most popular vocation. Like
yeah,
every third person you meet is a realtor. I mean,
and it's,
you get 75 people in a room. They're all realtors. It's like, huh, how does anybody ever sell a house around here? Like the competition is so stiff. I don't understand how any of you ever get anything done.
but are they? Are they? I mean, they got
Yeah,
I guess
apparently.
that's
I mean,
the question.
apparently
Yeah,
they are.
are they doing like commercial? Or are they doing like houses and shit?
So there's both. There's both.
Okay.
We went through the ringer with commercial brokers, uh, trying to get our cat cafe set up. And I mean,
Oh yeah.
there's the Marco Rossettis of the worlds and the freaking the people that I mean, there's so many names out here that you see everywhere on every building, and it's like you suck at your job because you don't actually do anything, right? And we finally found one guy that is good at what he does, and that's how we got our cafe. But some of these guys, I just it's like a side project for it's a little side hustle, and you're not a very good hustler. So, but you somehow have your name on everything.
That's their hustle. They're just fucking everywhere.
And it makes no sense, right? Like Marco Rossetti, he owns a restaurant here to a very prominent, very good restaurant that does really well. What the fuck do you waste your time being a realtor for? You don't have to. Like, you don't need the money. And yet
Yeah,
here you are wasting our time as well because you're not a good commercial realtor.
yeah, but it's probably a nice tax shelter for him for to go
For the
along with the
restaurant. Right,
restaurant.
right, right,
Probably be
right.
all right with that. And
Go. Hold
so
on. Let me kick my dog out.
sure.
Get your little tail out of here. All right. Should be trying to jump up here and get in the video and all that stuff. She's a bit of a psycho.
You know, that's how it goes. That's why we love dogs. You know, if they
I
weren't that
worship
way,
my dog.
yeah.
She gets away with
Uh,
everything. Dad's a soft ass. Mom's a disciplinarian. Dad's a soft ass.
so you have the cat? Do you have the cat cafe still, or was
Oh
that
yeah. Oh yeah.
okay?
Oh yeah. We're heading out there today to do some cleaning. So my wife and I are taking a vacation to Hawaii
Ooh, where are you going?
next Sunday. We're heading out to the Big Island. We're gonna
Ooh,
spend
what
8 days, I believe, at a resort in Hawaii because we've worked our asses off for the last couple of years, and we just need. I've never actually taken an actual vacation in my life ever.
Oh
And so,
shit.
I
Okay.
mean,
Well, that's a good.
I've done a couple like little road trips and whatnot, but this will be my first. Pack your bags, go to LAX, get on a plane, fly to Hawaii, rent a car, get a resort, and say fuck the world for 8 days.
Are you staying on the Kona side?
I believe so. Yeah, the west side of the island, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the east side of the island you can do in a day. Just for reference, if you're going
yeah.
over to like Hilo
We're
and that
going to.
area over there,
We rented
you can,
a goddamn convertible, so I'm gonna take a convertible and live a good Hawaiian life for a week, and we're gonna explore. And my wife and I are explorers, right? Like we do these random trips where we're like, let's just go away for 2 days because our cat cafe is closed Mondays and Tuesdays, so we will sometimes close early on a Sunday, take care of the dog and cats, get them squared away, and we'll just jump in the car and just drive somewhere. And I mean, we've gone out to Hawaii and Utah, not Hawaii. Gone to
the
like
other Utah.
Bryce Canyon out in Utah, I think it
Oh,
is,
sure.
and just explore. And we maximize a day, right? We get up at 6 o'clock. We'll be somewhere exploring by 7, and we'll spend all day walking and exploring everything there is to see around it. And we're little nomads, and so it's a good life. I definitely dig it. But I'm looking forward to Hawaii. I've never been there. We're gonna go swim with the manta rays at night, and I heard that was
Cool.
titties on a bull's ass. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go do that.
Yeah, man. I was out there last year, last May, I think. And yeah, it's so like yeah, what one side of the island's pretty rainy.
Yeah, I heard it's like
So
two different countries almost. Like one side's like
yeah,
lava and rain, and then the other
yeah.
side's like a plush rainforest. And
And they just had a bunch of like lava flow like a few years ago. So if you're over near Hilo, there's still a bunch of like roads that are closed down now because they got lava'd out. I don't know what the correct
now what's the
terminology is there.
terminology for that? They got
Yeah,
lava down.
they got lavalated,
They got lavalated. I love
Yeah,
it.
so it, but yeah, then yeah, like you go up there's like a mountain in the middle of the island, and there's a bunch of just random goats fucking all over the place, and then yeah, you go
Random
over
goats
and
fucking. That
random goats fucking all day, dude. And man, yeah,
bring your camera, my lord.
yeah, you got it, you don't get to see goat fucking too often, so
In public too, to disrespectful bastards.
yeah,
They have
and they
no
just
shame.
fuck anywhere. Yeah, I went to so this last weekend I went out, stayed at this place, man, and they had like a bunch of goats like attached to the place. It was interesting. There was like a little, not a farm. It was probably like I don't know, a little bit of area, but they had like 10 goats in this little thing nearby, and they had like like a 25-cent machine, get a little feed for the goats, and they only come out when they hear that little machine.
I think I'm a goat whisperer, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, we went to where I think it was Arizona. I think we were on a trip out to the Grand Canyon, and there's this pop-up random ass drive-through zoo called Arizona. And the first half of it you can just drive through in your car, right? And they tell you to keep your windows up because I mean they got bears and wolves and shit that are just out in the open, and you're driving
yeah,
through them. And if you roll your window down, you might get your hand ripped off or something. But then on the other side, they got a walk through part so you can walk through it. And we went into this pen that's got all these goats, and they all just start coming up to me, and I'd start tickling them, and they would fall asleep. They'd roll over and lay on their bellies, and I had like 15 fucking goats around me. All of a sudden, I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm a goat whisperer. My
you got
dog
the
is
touch,
such an
man.
asshole.
Yeah,
Hang on.
dude. I mean, yeah, goats are fucking cool as shit. I don't know, man. I like them. I used to have a couple. Um, I had some goats and some chickens a while
I had
back.
a goat once when I was a kid. I remember
Yeah,
we kept it lived in a dog house. We had a big dog house out in the yard, and we chained it out to the dog house. And I mean, it was like family to us. Right? Like we brought the damn goat inside, and I don't know why we had a goat, but we did. We never had a farm. We've always had dogs my whole life, but for some reason, my mom had a goat. I was like,
dogs and a goat. You got along well with the dogs?
yeah, yeah, I got along well with all of us.
Where was that?
Crystal, Michigan,
Okay,
when I was just
all
a
right.
wee little bairn.
With the goats, man, or the goat, the one
A goat,
goat,
just one goat.
the goat.
That's all we had.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe they knew you had a goat, and
Maybe you.
they just
I was
remembered,
I
man.
was the goat daddy, and they were like, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." It was a good time. I think I remember my mom saying, "Well, the goat can help keep the yard mowed." Like one goat, we got a really big yard. I don't think that one goat's really going to do much to keep the lawn in a good state.
yeah,
It might eat a little patch, but I don't
yeah.
know.
That's kind of what I thought too. I thought they would have ate more. I had two, and I thought they would have ate more of the yard, but
I don't have
it
to
didn't
mow
happen.
anymore.
Yeah, like no,
Yeah.
I'm still out there fucking mowing the yard, and
Still out there. I do not miss those days, man. I
I'm
don't
mowing
miss
the
those days.
yard.
Yeah, that used to
Yep.
suck, right?
Yeah.
Knowing that you're coming home from school, like, I gotta fucking mow the lawn today. God,
Yeah.
And you go out, and I mean, of course, I live in the country of Crystal, Michigan. So I mean, there's like the little bastards that burrow under the ground, gophers and stuff and they build little tunnels under the ground, and then they pop up out of the earth. So mowing with this old dusty, rusty piece of shit lawnmower, you gotta navigate the bumps, and then you gotta flip it over and pull all the wet grass out from it, and then run into a dog grenade that the dog left out in the yard, and it just splatters all over them. It's like, son of a bird. I hate it mowing them all.
Yeah, especially with it being so wet. Like that
And
was
my mother's like a lawn Nazi, right? Like these lines better be straight. It's like, what, we don't live on a fucking golf course, right? Why do I have to? But nope. So you mow half of the lane you just mowed so that the lines are all, equilaterally perpendicular and all other shit. And it's like, why? I think you live just to haunt me.
I had a tree like in the middle, so I started doing the going around and around and around, and just doing the
good old tree in the
out.
yard.
Yeah, and that tree eventually got taken out, so probably it could have the straight lines in the yard. And yeah, man, that fucking in our backyard, it was a little slanted, and being in fucking Portland, it's like all the time it would be, just go a few little bit, and then it would fucking clog up and have to go and reach all the shit out of there. And then, then you got these big clumps of fucking grass. And then you had the dog that shit in the backyard too, having to go and make sure you try to do the dog shit beforehand. But
you don't get all of them. Some of them are mines that are stuck under the grass you didn't see. And of course, you got, my worst part was you got to go pick up the sticks first. And for some reason, there's sticks all over the yard. And it's like, fuck, that's going to take me like an hour to pick up all these stupid sticks. And so then you just skip it. And of course, the one that you skipped is the one that jams up the lawnmower and fucks it all up. And you're like, shit, now I'm in trouble. Good old life.
Yeah, I hope there's a better way to work with those now, work with lawnmowers. I hope lawnmowers don't get, I mean, especially if it's somewhere where it's wet all the time, or, it can rip up sticks better. They would have
invented something like that by now, right? Like they would have like an AI generated intuitive lawnmower with radars and backup cameras and a wet mode, and, something that separates stuff that picks up it's not supposed to. And I bet you they're pretty advanced at this point. I remember the old school ones, like Amish lawnmowers. Remember those things? They're just like self-perpetuated, and
the little wheel thing. Yeah.
Those things. I hated those things.
Yeah. It was pretty nice once they got the fucking, like, a lawnmower, like but then it was always trying to start the motherfucker, trying to do the pull fucking start thing, and
ramming your arm out.
Go. It was like, you just do it, like, fuck. I know, like, I'm trying to do it.
Right. It's not rocket science. You grab that, you pull it out. Why doesn't it work for me? And and my asshole brother would always come over like, you're doing it wrong, bro. Like, fuck you, man.
And then they go and get it started, and then fucking let it go, and then it turn off. And then like, now you do it. Like, fuck you. Just kind of started like.
My favorite's when they start it, they hand it to you, you keep the bar down, and they walk away, and then you have to go get a stick that you missed, and so you let it go, and it pops off, and then you got to start the whole process over.
You got to fucking hopefully find them. Like, I showed you how to do it.
Country boy problems, man. It really is. That's country living, and of course, we lived across from cow farms all the time, so it's nothing to wake up and you got 10 cows in your yard that escaped from their pen across the street, and then you got cow patties all over, and you got to go pick cow patties up off the yard. And
cow patties don't go through the fucking lawnmower too well.
And they don't make shrooms in 24 hours, so there's just no good that comes from it.
I got to take a little while longer. That was always an interesting thing, finding those places. There's always, one or two friends who knew where those places were to go. But then, it's always trying to time that right. And some of the times I feel it was, they'd fuck with you because, you don't really, that place, you don't tell people that place.
Right. That's a secret. You don't tell anybody. Right.
So yeah, I'm sure there was a lot where it was like, oh, let's go here, let's go look at this cow shit, and it's like,
Mm,
well, knowing damn well that there's no fucking
right.
nothing growing off that cow shit right
There's
now.
no
It's just
treasure at the end of that rainbow.
yeah, just lifting up fucking cow shit all day. Like,
You
why
got,
is there nothing under
all right,
here?
then you're battling cows because cows get pissed off that you're there, and it's
Yeah,
series of unfortunate events.
yeah. Good things to learn. Good things to learn.
Yeah, I mean,
And
but I remember like we had Mark Moreland, who was like a massive weed dealer in our
yeah,
area, and you never knew how, right? Like we all built stories in our head, like he's connected to the Mexican mafia or some shit, and that's how he's getting his weed. No,
yeah.
we stumbled across it one day, roaming through the
Oh,
woods like kids with the dogs, and you just come into this big, beautiful patch that he has hidden out in some random forest somewhere, and it's like, oh,
you
oh
start looking around right
shit.
there. Yeah,
What? These aren't tomato plants, Ma. What's going on? And you're like,
yeah,
okay, don't say anything and don't take too much. Just mark the spot. We'll come back.
yeah,
These things aren't ready to harvest just yet. And
yeah.
then you sneak back, and now I don't ever have to buy weed because I found Mark Moreland's farm. Now it's legal, so they got freaking fences in Fort Knox around their stash, and it's like, well, shit. Yeah.
I went out there in fucking 20, what was that? Must have been 2020, 2019. It must have been 2019. And I think they had passed and made it legal there, but they hadn't opened up any of the dispensaries to the public until like 2021 or something, I think is when they opened up. And I drove out there up to the UP, and I was like, ah shit. Like,
It's funny the evolution of the legalization of weed. I remember this as a kid because my mom was a low level weed dealer, flipping eighths and quarters,
yeah,
and I remember all the adults always talking about, well, I hope one day they legalize this shit. Hope one day they legalize it. And we just, you'd never think that it was going to come, but it almost like low key secretly became legal, right? Like it
yeah,
wasn't just one day they were like, oh, let's flip a switch and it's legal. Like you just start hearing about it. Like you can, I mean, I remember the hash bash in Ann Arbor most of my life, right? Like, oh,
yeah,
it's one day a year that weed is legal. What? Where? Where's that at? It's the hash bash in Ann Arbor. Like what? And then, of course I went and did half my life sitting in a can. And I get out, and when I went to prison, I don't even smoke weed anymore because
yeah.
it's too much. Right? It's too
It's
much.
yeah,
And when I
not
went
predictable.
when I went to prison, it was 20 sacks and 40 sacks. People bought like quarters and eighths. It was 20, 40 generally, where unless it was really good weed, and that's all there was. There was shit weed and there was good
Yeah.
weed.
Or
And that
they
was
say it
it.
was really good weed.
Right. There was two kinds of weed. You get bad
Right.
weed, you get a bag of Reggie,
Yeah.
just regular ass weed, or you get
Yeah.
some fire shit that somebody come into town with, and it's like, oh, and every once in a blue moon, you get one of the fancy names like Tide Stick or Maui Wowie or something. It's like, oh shit. And
Yeah.
then hydroponic was like this once a year specialty that somebody came out with that had some hydro shit, and you could just get really tore up. And then when I get out of prison, I mean, this stuff is defined by name, strain, sex, date of birth, region, county. And it's like, well, this is technically, it's from the same thing, but the THC balance in there is 44% as opposed to 38% over here. And this one comes from a Highland mist, and it's a hybrid of like, what? I
Yeah.
just want to smoke weed. I just want some weed. And then you hit it and I'm fucked. I'm just stuck like a zombie. Like, dude, that was only $20. Like,
Yeah.
and then you can't find Reggie anymore. Like, I can't find just regular weed that I can just pop in and take a hit and I'm good. Nope. Everything puts me in a coma. And it's
Yeah.
like, I can't function. I just can't do it anymore. You've destroyed my love of marijuana.
That's what happened with the edibles for the most. I think that was the one that like just before I couldn't really tell, and I still can't tell. People say they can, gauge it easier now with the edibles, and fuck dude, like I still can't I took a Greyhound from Central Oregon down to Salt Lake City, and I ate one at, it was like a fucking 14, 15 hour fucking Greyhound, and
Oh
I
man.
ate one, and I swear I was like high for like 6 hours, just like look in the middle of the night looking out the fucking window at the sky and the moon. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is way too much here, man.
Yeah,
I can't fucking do
and I
this.
mean, I think they oversaturated the market, and I think it lost its allure, right? Like
Right.
it was fun back when weed was illegal. Like you had to have a dealer, you had to know who your guy was, and
You
you had
had
to
to go
call him.
somewhere.
You had to go somewhere, and I mean, there was social interaction there, right? Like there was,
Yeah.
you knew your dealer and you trusted your dealer, right? And you
r-
had those weed dealers that were about their business, and you had those weed dealers that were a little flaky, and
Oh,
it was just, there was a culture behind it, and it was fun. And the only time you ever ate weed was when people made weed cookies or weed
yep.
brownies. And it was like, oh wow, it was a special event, right? And so you get with your buddies, you get some brew or something, and you all sit around and smash some weed brownies, and you get stupid stuck. And nowadays it's like, I think you can buy it at fucking gas stations, right? Like you walk in there, it's like, oh, here's a
Yeah.
THC CBD sucker. And it's
Like,
like, what?
yeah,
They just ruined it.
how many times have I fucking sat in a parking lot of a grocery store waiting for like 2 hours for the guy? Oh man, I'll be there in fucking 5 minutes, man. And then
Yeah.
fucking 2 hours later, fucking 10 minutes, man, I'll be there. Like or son of a
Right.
bitch, or
God
or
damn it.
having to,
And then he comes and
yeah,
he's got some shit weed. And you're like, man, I
yep.
waited this whole time for
Like,
this. God damn
oh,
it.
by the way, it's $50.
Right. And it's
Like, wait,
packed with
hold on,
seeds.
man.
And
Yeah,
we weren't smart back then. We didn't realize, because like finding any weed with a seed in it nowadays is like winning the lottery. Right. Like,
yeah,
and I don't even know what to do with a seed if I found it. But I remember back in the day, that was the shittiest thing to do. Is I buy an eighth from you, and it's 7.5 grams, and 3 grams of it are seeds. Like, you son of
yeah,
a bitch. And you got to sit there and pick through the buds and take the stems and the seeds out. And it's like, you're all mad about it, not knowing that he gave you a gold mine. You could have went out there and planted those seeds. And
yeah. And like the hidden dog shit mine in the grass, you do end up fucking having those little seeds that end up
right.
sticking in there, and then all of a sudden,
Fertilizer.
fucking pop.
Right.
And
Now you have a
yeah,
self-made business.
yeah,
Yeah, no, we weren't with that entrepreneurial back then. I just wanted to smoke weed and play video games and listen to
yeah,
Alice in Chains.
right,
Yeah, that was my
man.
day. I don't know how old you are, but
I'm
I'm 42. I was born in
I'm
81.
41.
Oh, so
Uh,
we're right in the same spot.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like when I remember when Pearl Jam 10 hit, right? Like,
Oh, sure.
dude, I think the 90s were the greatest era ever, right? Like the 80s were dope. Love the 80s. I mean, I was a baby in the 80s, obviously. We were the same.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
yeah,
but there's just something about the 90s, right? When you first heard some Pantera hit, or that Metallica started to come out, like there's just something
yeah,
different, right? It was like, ooh, and I just think the 90s were so, it was fun, right? We didn't have, I mean, we were starting to advance technologically, which was kind of cool. When the Super Nintendo hit, we were like, this is the coolest thing known to man. And you look back
yeah.
at it now, like,
It looks so real, man. Like these,
right,
how's it
right,
gonna look more real than this?
right. Where do we
Like,
go from here? Right.
yeah,
And CD players came out, and you had the CD Walkman, and you're like, what are we gonna do from here? Like, we have reached the apex of technology. Like, this is insane.
yeah,
And I mean, the internet wasn't, I mean, it was a beast.
yeah.
And you're like, if you were lucky, you had a friend
It,
whose parents were wealthy and they bought Doom, and you got to play
yeah,
Doom on a computer, and it was dope. Other than that,
yep,
like, none of this crazy technology existed. And here we are talking to each other across the country in real time
right.
in our offices. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
and I
because yeah, I mean,
think,
we got both. We got the fucking
yeah, and I think,
before.
I think Back to the Future predicted this kind of shit, right? Have you
Yeah,
ever
I
looked
mean,
into
yeah,
that and seen how much Back to the Future influenced
yeah.
the how much they predicted the future?
with those screens that come
Yeah.
down, and then they have the
FaceTimes
fucking
and
the
all that stuff. And I think didn't they even predict Donald Trump as president?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
which
The Simpsons
which was
too. The
wild.
Simpsons really predicted. I mean, I don't know. Life was just much more awesomer in the 90s. I don't know why. Remember that album The Simpsons made when they made a music album?
Yeah, fuck man, with Do the Bart Man.
Do the
Uh
Bart. There was a
do-
song in there about mowing the lawn. Remember that too?
yeah,
With Bart.
yeah.
Let me start at the start, then take it away. My name is Simpson, Bartholomew
Bartholomew
J.
J.
It's Bart with an
Yeah,
art and a capital B. Yes,
yeah,
bro, that
dude.
was so dope. Deep, deep trouble.
Yeah,
That was the name of that song.
yeah.
Right.
Trouble, deep,
Bart,
deep
deep, deep
trouble.
trouble.
I-
So I'm
My
in the
older
front
brothers would
lawn
play
mowing
that
like
shit.
crazy. Right, dude, that was
Hit the
so dope.
sprinkler, it went raining out there.
Yes, bro,
Yeah,
it was a good life, right? It was amazing. I mean,
yeah,
Ninja Turtles were like huge, and they even had their own band, right? Do you remember that
yeah.
stuff? Like the Ninja Turtles went on tour with a band and all that, and it was like,
Wait, no, I don't remember that. Wait,
you don't?
no, then no.
Oh
Uh-uh.
man, the Ninja Turtles had like a live band, and
What?
we'd watch it on VHS, and these assholes that dressed up
Oh
like the
man,
Ninja Turtles, and they did live music, and it was a live band. They went on tour with it and everything. And I think it was
how
because
did I
Vanilla
miss that?
Ice was in part two. And
Okay, yeah,
you know
man.
what?
Now I'm
You,
curious. I bet
I'm
there's some footage of
I'm
that
curious.
somewhere.
You know what? I haven't thought about that in years, and
I'm
I'm
glad it
betting you
got brought
now.
up.
Right, I'm betting you it's on YouTube. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles band from the 80s. Let me see. Coming out of their shells widescreen. Oh my god, now I'm going way back through. Oh, I'm gonna have to find this. I remember this back in the day. The single that's when the Ninja Turtles were on Oprah. Oh my god. There's so much to it, right? The Ninja
They
Turtles
were,
were such a big part of my life.
yeah, they were everywhere, man. I got, where is it? I have a fucking hat, and I think I have it right here, actually. Um, yeah, check that.
Oh, snap, fresh from the sewer.
Yeah, it's from 1988. I got it from my brother last year or something. It's gonna sell it, but I can't. I can't
Yeah,
fucking bring myself to
don't
selling
do
that
it.
shit.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's funny when we look back at like all the toys that we'd see. There it is. I told you. Oh my God. Can I share my screen with you?
Yeah, I think you should be able to share it.
Look, share
Um,
screen. Hold. Oh, you disabled it. So you have to
oh
enable.
fuck, I mean, I don't even know how the fuck to, how do I do that? How can I make it multiple sharing? Okay.
Oh my God. I
Um,
haven't seen this since
there
I.
you go.
Oh my God. All right, here we go. Look at this. Hold on.
Awesome.
Boom. You see this?
Holy shit. Okay.
So this was them back in the day, right? And they were a band, right? Look,
With the fucking guitar.
right? And they did live music shows, right? There they go.
So wait, what was the music? Were they doing like, did they have their own original music, or were they
Yeah,
doing some
yeah. So
covers?
they had a song on there. They had a song called the only one I can remember is a song called "Skipping Stones," and
Holy shit.
it was hold on musical mutagen tours what that was called. Yeah, hold up.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
so they had this, let me see if I can find this. They had this thing called they had a song called Skipping Stones, and it was they even had a music video. And
Holy
it's
sh
Splinter actually singing the song, right?
Oh, there it is.
Skipping Stones, right? I thought they had a music video for it, but I'm just skipping stones. Oh my God. I'm not on my professional account. Here's the band.
Wait, why can't I hear this? What do I need to do?
This is
Oh,
so
no.
insane. Look at this shit.
Dude, I think I saw some on there. It was like an hour and a half. I'm gonna have to go and watch this shit, man. Like, holy fuck.
Right. I'm just skipping stones. Look, there it is.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's about to skip rocks.
Oh, that's so Splinter, man. Holy shit. Oh man. Oh yeah. I gotta fucking.
Bro,
I
it's
bet my.
nuts.
Oh man. I got
Bro,
get
it's
my
so
friend.
nuts, man.
He's gotta fucking. Like that would be a great fucking music entrance music for, or at least part of that as like the first little bit to before the music drops.
I
Throw
don't
in a
know
little
how
bit
to
of.
get my freaking Zoom back up full screen.
I think I have to. Do I have to? What do I do? Do I kill you?
No, no, I don't think you killed me. I want to live. Um, I don't remember how to do this, and there's a
I
way to
can.
go
Oh,
back
exit
to.
full screen. Is that
No, I
nope?
need to enter back
Fuck.
into full screen.
Okay.
It's not on you.
Do I?
It's on me.
Okay.
I just don't remember how to do it. So now you're like really small, and the whole screen is really small. Damn it! I did it again.
Oh, now I fucked it up. Now I'm just fucking it up more and more.
You can't fix my problems, man.
No.
It's all good. Oh, here it is, I think. There we go. Yep, now I'm back.
That's
Guess
where
who's
the
back?
fucking back again, man.
Yeah.
Where
So I mean, it's crazy, right? Like I didn't even remember that till just now. They did a whole like the whole tour. The
they
Ninja
have
Turtles
an
tour.
hour and a half thing on there when you're scrolling through those fucking things, man.
Yeah, it's a thing. They
How
got
do I?
they have songs featuring Casey Jones
There we
and
go.
oh, there we go. Yeah, they got songs featuring
Holy
Casey
shit.
Jones and April O'Neil, and it's just I was such a Ninja Turtle nut when I was a kid, right? Like, I mean, that's where I was such a thief back then too, right? I remember going to Meyer and I would steal
I
4 or 5
would
of those bastards, just pop the little back of the package, put the turtle in my pocket, like you ain't never catching me, some bitch. And man, I had so many Ninja Turtle toys. I come from a very dirt poor, broke ass family. And so if I wanted Ninja Turtles, the only way I was getting it was to either work for it or steal. And I
yeah.
wasn't raised with that ethic. So I was an abused kid. So I stole that shit.
And it worked. It worked, it did it its time and
Yeah.
with so yeah, Meyer is like the whatever, the like a like just a regular grocery store, but it
Well, it
had a
was
little bit
Walmart
more.
before Walmart actually
Okay.
blew up, right? So it was when I grew up, it was Meyer and Kmart. And then
Oh
Walmart
yeah.
somehow came along.
Well,
And Myers, and so again, being from the sticks with the Amish, going to Meyer was like going to the mall, right? For us, it was like it was a big extravaganza to go to Meyer because you don't see these products in this type of setup. We have one grocery store where we're from, and if you go to the next town over, there might be a couple of grocery stores, and so it was a trip to go to 40 minutes to go to Greenville or go to Ionia and hit Myers. And so I loaded up every goddamn time. I'm making 5 trips out to the car and
right.
I gotta go dump this stuff off. And I was good at it. And we always went to Myers because Kmart had alarms. Myers didn't. And I guess Myers was so cocky that they were like, well, we'll catch you. Well,
Yeah.
never
Little
got
do they know.
right.
Fucking
Built
all of a
half my
sudden the
stuff
Ninja
off of you.
Turtles are gone.
I remember like the CDs were in those white cases and you had to go shop through CDs and like Warren G dropped and Regulate came out and everybody like, oh shit, this is the best thing ever. And man, Ugly
And
Kid Joe and just there was just so much. The 80s and 90s were that was it. It was the best time ever. Of course, I went to
so
prison in 97. So I lost the last 3 years. And
so that era, that last bit of the 90s, the music wasn't great, but there were some fucking awesome movies that came out there. Like in that 1999 had so many fucking good movies.
I
Um
I didn't get to see most of them.
and yeah. So, but okay. So before that, though, the music, though, before that 90s, like after that, dude, you're
It,
not missing out
it
on
went
much.
through, I mean, but there were a few gems, right, that came out. I think Mudvayne really started to really make themselves known in the late 90s.
Yeah, like, yeah,
Godsmack, they were about 97, 98
97,
when they
98,
hit.
yeah, somewhere in there.
Metallica went through their transitional phase, which everybody hated at first because we were all diehard, Injustice for All fans and
Yeah,
Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets. We were big fans of the way Metallica was. And when it came out with Load, we're like,
yep,
what are these motherfuckers doing? Right? Like
right.
they cut their hair and they got Splukhaki on the cover of their albums. And it's like, and now you look back and you realize how masterful those albums were. Right.
Yeah.
I look back at it. The only album Metallica's ever put out that disgusts me is Saint Anger. Right. Like that fucking
Yeah.
album. I want to just punch Lars Ulrich in the face. Like, what were you thinking, dude? That snare is the single most irritating sound known to man. Boom, 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 boom. Like, how did you not hear that in when you were mixing? How did you of all people sit
Who
down?
should be?
Right. This is the same guy that buried Jason Newsted's bass in Injustice for All, like just killed it.
Yeah.
You're such a sound Nazi. How did you miss that? Those drums sound like absolute poop. And
Right.
I don't know what they were thinking with that. How did you sit down and be like, yeah, that's great, put that out?
Yeah, that'll be good. People are gonna love it. It's gonna get played just as much as everything else.
And then if you hear them live play some of the songs from Saint Anger, the songs actually sound decent. They're pretty good because he changed the damn drums.
If you
But
realize, like, yeah, this is bullshit.
that album just, and it was so much that Newsted was like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
He quit. He's like, I'm done with this shit.
Don't blame him.
Stupid. But I mean, they're doing fantastic now, right? And so I'm proud to be a Metallica fan these days.
Yeah. And so, I mean, how do you like listening to your music? What's your uh how do you like listening to digital file? Do you
Loud,
like
heavy,
listening?
hard, and fast.
Perfect.
That's how I like
Like,
that shit. I've
yeah.
come to really like post-hardcore and I love this hard stuff. Like I Prevail, like god damn it. And they're Detroit boys, so that makes me even happier.
Oh,
Little
okay.
proud to have some Michigan metal going on. And I mean, Corey Taylor is like, he's my idol, right? Like I love Corey Taylor. I
From
think
Slipknot.
I think I like
Oh,
Stone
yeah.
Sour more than I actually like Slipknot, right? Because I'm more into the groovy type metal that gets heavy.
Yeah.
And I think Stone Sour encapsulates that so well. But I've come to love like what's their name, of Mice and Men, like just this brutal screams with the clean vocals does something for me, and I really enjoy that. And just the heavy drop B's and drop A's, and they're just it's like, yeah, bitch. Oh, I just it gets me going. I love it.
So are you listening then on like a CD or a tape or a fucking record or a digital fucking MP3
No,
or
yeah, no, I'm Spotify and
yeah.
Apple Music. Right, it's convenient. I do have a record player, and I recently acquired Master of Puppets on
Oh
LP,
shit.
and so I'm
That
able to take a little trip down memory lane when you put that. You get that from the
yeah.
record, and then bling 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 bling. It's like, oh shit, bling 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 bling. Listen, woof. I'm a huge Metallica fan. Metallica,
It-
Pantera. That was my jam.
so are your brothers older than you?
Yeah, I only have
Oh,
one.
oh,
And
okay.
he's 19 months older, and he was never into it. He was always into rap. That was his thing.
Oh, okay.
He started with Third Base and all those 80s rap bands, and then he graduated up to Coolio and Warren G and Snoop Dogg and and just kept graduating from there, and then worship Nelly and and
Okay.
I liked some of that, but it just wasn't really my speed. I've been heavy metal since I heard Hetfield screaming in my face. So it was like, okay, I'm in. I like it.
Yeah.
You know,
I heard that through my
yeah, I mean,
wall.
I was also a big fan of like 80s hair band. I mean, obviously I loved them, even though I didn't understand half the shit they said. I didn't know until I was in my 20s that it said pour some sugar on me. I thought he was saying some kind of funky Chinese phrase, pour some dookie all the way. I'm like, I don't know what he said, but I like it.
Just
So,
got the flow, man.
yeah, I was a big Bon Jovi fan. I mean, music was a huge part of my life. And I mean, growing up, I used to, that was my escape from the abuse that I was going through. I would hide in my mom's closet, and my mom had this massive tape box with everything from Harry Chapin to Jimmy Buffett to Meatloaf to White Snake to George Strait and Garth Brooks. And so I just had this really eclectic, a diverse collection of music that I would sink myself into, and it really developed who I was, right? Like
Yeah.
Meatloaf. They just don't make music like that anymore, right? And it's not for everybody, but I loved it because I mean the music was so good. It was so tight and well prepared and well produced, but they told you a story. And so you could just sit down and put your headphones on and close your eyes, and you can envision the story that they're talking about as they're conducting the song. And they don't make that anymore, right? It just, even, I mean, I'm a big Avenged Sevenfold fan, and that last song they came out, I'm like, what the fuck is that? I did a reaction video to it, and it lasted all of about 45 seconds in the video. I'm like, I'm out, man. This is fucking poop, man. What is that? I think it's the rock metal version of mumble rap.
Oh, okay.
This is stupid, man. The fuck?
Yeah. I mean, that mumble rap got fucking huge, and
Uh,
like it's wild. I don't.
you don't even need talent, right? You just get a good beat, and you're like, it's supposed to sit back to whoa, to be the force. Like, what?
Yeah, you gotta have the fucking
What?
that
Right.
shit. The
Right, you got to grab your shirt and
got the shirt.
yeah. I'm like,
Like,
what in no, man, just no. Come on.
yeah.
But you know
Don't know
what?
any of that
Kudos to
shit.
them, because they chased their dreams, and they chased their passion, and they figured out a way to do it. And it turns out you just rent a bunch of high-end looking things and make a video, and then it works. Yeah.
But I mean, wasn't that what they're doing back in the '90s too, with the
Pretty
fucking
much,
the rap videos? There was
right?
run a whole bunch.
Right.
I Yeah, they used to
I'm
have those fucking things on. I think it was VH1 or MTV. They would do a thing where they would go and replay the video, but then they'd like tell how much everything was all worth during each of it. It was like the pop-up video, but like pop-up
yeah,
video meets
pop-up
cribs or some
video.
shit.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember that. And then it's popping up little blurbs about the music video as they're going through. This car was actually borrowed from such and such, and
yeah,
pop-up video. I remember
yeah.
that. That was,
It
man,
was
VH1.
interesting. Yeah, VH1. It was like you didn't want to be telling people you're watching VH1 because it was like
Right. It
I
wasn't
only watch
MTV.
MTV, man.
Right.
Yeah, I'm watching VH1. Like, oh, you're a little pussy. Like,
Right.
I like pop-up
Doesn't
video
matter.
though,
Does your
man.
mommy not let you watch MTV, bro? Like,
Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
when
like,
Beavis and Butthead hit the scene, man, and it was like the second coming of Christ, right? Like we were
yeah,
all like just jaw dropped by this. Like, what is this? The first time I ever seen they were like sucking on a frog, and Beavis or Butthead's laughing at like, this is ridiculously addictive. I don't know why. Well, I love
yeah.
it. And I discovered so much music through them, right? I actually think I discovered Pantera through them.
They
And
loved Pantera.
they did. And I think Mouth of War was on one of the episodes. And I'm watching, I was like, what is that? And you didn't have Google back then. You didn't have YouTube back then. So you actually had to go figure it out. Like, okay, what did they say? I think they said Pantera. What is that? And then you just start asking your friends, or you'd go to the store. And remember the magazines that had like the CD deals that you could get away
The
with? Like, you
Columbia
buy
House.
Columbia
Or,
House, right? You can buy 10 CDs for a penny if you
yeah,
bought one for $17.99. It's like,
yeah.
okay, I'll try it. And it turns out that you can get them and be like, nah, I changed my mind. And you can send the one that you paid $17.99 for back and keep all the ones. And it's like, well,
Right.
I'm just going to keep doing that. And then, next thing you know, you got a massive CD collection.
Yeah, I mean they really bet on people to forget about it and then just keep getting charged. That was how they ended up that was their business model. That
Yeah.
enough people would forget about it and just keep getting the monthly bill.
And
And
look how well it worked today, because I
yeah,
have stuff that's on my Apple ID and out of my bank account. I don't even know, use or remember. I just every month is like, oh, well, you were charged $9.99 for this, or you were charged $4.99 for that. And it's like, what? I don't even know that I had that. What is that?
yeah.
And,
You get a
and
little notification on your phone or an email, and it's like, you son of a bitch, you're still fucking
yeah,
there.
you're still charging me for that? What the?
Yeah.
Well, my
And I gotta
favorite is
go.
the one that you paid a year in advance. You used it for a month and then forgot
Yeah.
about it. And then June 23rd, boom, there's another $299 just came out of your bank account for this. And it's like, oh shit, can you refund that? I don't use. Sorry, we don't do refunds. Like,
Yeah.
you son of a
Like,
bitch. Now I have this app for another year that I don't use. Fuck.
yeah, better go fucking grab this thing I've put away. I got something. It was like a planking kind of push up thing that's like you like balance on it, and you buy like this year-long subscription for it. And I used it for a very short while, and then bought the year, and then put it away. And then like a few months ago, I got a thing for like another year subscription. I'm like, fuck, dude, it's like $70 or something like for a year. It's like, well,
But
it
see,
worked out good at
and I
first,
didn't even
man.
realize how to do that. That's one of the bad sides about doing, 18 years in prison is you miss how things move. And my
Yeah.
wife showed me, she's like, well, here's how you see what you're being charged for. And we look and it's like $700 a month. And I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
holy shit. And you go through and you're like, I didn't even know I had that. I'm paying Discord and I haven't even looked at Discord in a year. And I'm giving Discord $19.99 a month. Like for what? Why am I in what is it? The other streaming software. What is it? Not OBS, but StreamYard. StreamYard's OBS. I'm paying for a Prime subscription for that for 3 years. I was
Oh,
subscribed to like 4 or 5 people on Twitch. I don't
oh
even know
shit.
how I subscribe to them, but I'm giving them $4.99 a month. And I'm like, for 2 years, I've been giving you $4.99.
They must love you.
I
Like,
don't I don't even have Twitch anymore. And yet I'm still paying this asshole $4.99 a month for his streams. He's like, man, I got a big fan out there. That guy's my biggest fan.
yeah.
Fuck
They're paying
you.
me fucking $5 every,
Man.
well, yeah, like
It's,
a few hundred
it's
bucks, man. Like,
ridiculous. How
yeah.
I accidentally subscribe to things like that microphone lick girl. Like I don't even know how I did it, but
Yeah.
somebody was like, oh, there's a girl on Twitch that just licks a microphone and she makes all kinds of money. And so I'm like, well, I have to see this. So I go on there. She's licking the microphone. I'm like, people pay for this shit. I paid for it for 2 fucking years.
Yeah. I think
How did
that's
I
maybe
subscribe to that?
the trick, man. Yeah. You just got to fucking find a way to make people somehow like click and then change whatever you're talking about to never fucking bring up like
Right.
to look at that
And,
again.
and
Just
I'm like, I've been paying $4.99 for this for 2 years. What the
yeah.
fuck?
I haven't seen you lick a microphone for fucking
Right.
21 months,
That's
man.
insanity. What is going on here? And I mean, just some of the stuff that people get away with and have figured out how to monetize is insanity. Like there's the
Yeah.
girl, and I mean it objectifies women, right? And it's unbelievable. But it's just this Russian girl that like she has an assortment of toys, and not those kind of toys, just regular stuff like a hula hoop and a freaking one of those medicine balls or something. And people will come on and drop, well, here's $100, do a round of hula hooping, and she'll get up and she's got her tits half out and she's like wearing a bikini and she'll just sit there and hula hoop for 45 seconds, made $100. Like
Fucking not too bad of a deal, man. Like,
you've got to be kidding me. There's
yeah.
the one girl that just lays by the pool, literally goes, takes a nap in tans and just leaves her thing on. And she's got 5,000 people that are live watching and like dropping tips and like she's literally just laying there taking a nap. Like,
Yeah.
how sad are you people? Like, come
Right,
at least here, come subscribe over here, and I'll at least do a freaking trick for you or something, right? I'll juggle or some shit.
Yeah.
Figure out how to juggle. It's insane.
That's what, yeah. That's what I was going to ask. Can you juggle? Are you a juggler?
No, but I'd
Okay.
figure it out if you gave me $4.99 a month.
For $4.99 for fucking a month. Yeah, like, dude, fuck, I'll be
I'll
juggling.
figure it out.
It's crazy. And there's a few of them that are just really just going. Like, I got on into doing the streaming for a while, but then it's like you get fucking people like that. They're like these chicks
Yeah.
that are doing nothing, and
How do you
just people
compete
just
with that?
fucking throwing money.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, like, I don't know what the fuck I can do. Like,
Right. It's hard to compete, right? And like,
yeah,
I just, I don't know what to do anymore. Like when game streaming came, I had a big Twitch channel. I don't know, I had like 5,000 subscribers, right? Like I had a big following on Twitch, and only because I used to play Fall Guys. And like whenever I would play the actual games, you know, people weren't interested. Like I'm playing Tomb Raider and I suck at strategy type games. So I mean, I'm counting on the people that are watching to help me figure out how to open this fucking door.
yeah,
But when I would play Fall Guys, which is just a simple game, you know, you're just this little fat thing that's trying to run an obstacle course with 70 other people online. And it's the most rage-inducing, frustrating game in the world. And I mean, I'm making
which
$200-300 a stream because people love it. I fall down, I'd rage out, I'm chucking controllers, I'm cussing people out, and they're like, yeah, biddies. Like this is insanity. But I mean,
it,
as much money as I was making off of that game, I couldn't do it for my sanity. I had to stop because I'm breaking stuff all the time.
right.
I'm like, I'm literally losing my temper. And I'm not that guy. Like I'm a very mentally controlled individual, and I have to step away from this game. And so I had to stop. I stepped away from video games for so long, and now I jump on now. I got the Call of Duty now, and it's just a little bit of a stress reliever for me. Like after a stressful day, I jump on and argue with 12-year-olds and shoot people in the face for an hour, and then I'm out. And it's just, I don't know, there's something gratifying about it.
So I heard that I think it's a Call of Duty. It might be a different game that they got a whole bunch of new was it like not like moderators or whatever, people
Yeah,
that
like
are
voice moderators that come in and monitor the voice chats and
yeah. There's a
yeah,
lot of stuff you can't like that
yeah.
you
You have
can't
to,
say
yeah,
as much
you gotta be
anymore. That
pretty, you gotta be mature.
yeah, right. Which
Which is cool because it challenges me to be clever with my
yeah,
words.
you
instead of-
exactly. You have to be clever. You can't just go out and start, calling people what you call
Right.
people when you were fucking 10
Right.
years
Back when
old
you
and
weren't
shit.
monitored. And,
When you weren't
you
monitored,
look at
right?
the evolution of video games. I mean, I remember like Contra
Yeah.
and I mean, Contra was amazing for me. And then again, you take that 18-year gap and you go from, Nintendo
Oh shit.
64 to, PlayStation 4. And it's like, wow, this is different. Okay. Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, oh my God, this is insanity.
Yeah.
It's the evolution of things. And you wonder where, like, how much farther do we get to go? Right? Like, well, how much farther do we get to go as a civilization, as a society? My wife and I were watching this thing last night on, I believe it was HBO Max. It's called Calm. It's like based off the Calm app, but there's videos. And we watched one about space and learning, how far we've traveled out to space and seeing the things that are out there. And it just reminds you how infinitely small and insignificant we really are in this world, right? And when you look
Yeah.
at the complexity and the vastness of the universe, it just kind of puts things into perspective. Like, it's not that serious, right? Like, you get one spin around this globe. Maybe you get to come back as a bald eagle, or maybe you get to come back as a cat in a lovely home, but maybe you come back as a street cat, or maybe you come back as a freaking tampon. You don't know. Maybe you don't come back. Maybe you do. Maybe you go to heaven. Maybe you don't. Maybe you go to nirvana. Maybe you don't. But I'm not going to keep wasting my time when you take in the vastness of the universe that we live in. It just kind of puts things into perspective. Like, I'm just going to enjoy what I have while I have it, and whatever happens, happens. I've come to find that if you live a purpose-filled life and you let kindness and compassion dominate your mindset, and you strive every day to just be a great person, that life is so much more rewarding and fulfilling. And I'm almost excited to die. I'm not in a rush to do it, but I'm not afraid of it. Right. Like I've made peace with my life, and I live a purpose-filled life. So I'm not scared to go see what comes after this. Because I now am in my later years struggling. In my later years, I sound like I'm
Right, for 42, man.
Right, I'm 42.
Like, yeah.
But as I get older, I'm finding that I'm more curious about, what's out there and what happens. Like when you look at the vastness of the universe, we can't be the only thing, right? And
Right.
and then you look at, like, we were looking at the ocean and what's under the ocean, and then what's above the sea, and all of us it's all pretty similar, right? Like the infrastructure of life under the ocean. There's animals, and there's or mammals, or whatever you want to call them, but there's different life systems. And then on above ground, there's different life systems, and all these animals and species that exist. Maybe those stars that are up in the sky are just souls that are trying to get here. And you get to restart, right? When you die, maybe the death tunnel, the light at the end of the death tunnel is the birth canal, right? And you get a split second to choose, like, well, I guess I'm going to come back as a frog this time. I'll try a frog's life, because everything's either going to have a good, abundant life, or it's going to have a shit life, or it's just going to have a mediocre one. And so I would imagine there's been a frog that's been famous, right? And so that frog had a really good life. But there's also the frog that fell victim to the 7-year-old asshole kid in the country that's chucking him 20 feet in the air and bouncing him off the ground. Maybe I had that experience as a frog. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to leave the amphibian trip alone. And so next time I get back to Earth, I'm going to come back as a horse, or maybe I'll try the human experience again. And who knows, right? But I'm almost excited to find out.
Have you ever done past life regression?
I have not, but I've
Would you be
recently
interested
heard
in that?
about it. I would.
Dude,
I've recently heard about it.
If you want to, we can do that. Maybe not right this second, but
Yeah, I
at
don't
some
know
point,
that Monday morning is the best
yeah,
time to jump in there and find out that I was King Tut's dog.
yeah, dude, if you're interested, man, it's a fucking trip. Like
Really?
I thought it was another total, 'cause like when I got into this whole fucking world of, hypnosis and everything else, everything, whatever. I thought it was all bullshit. I thought it was all like a fucking magic trick. Like someone's got to be in on it. But dude, like I use it for people who get writer's block. And that's one that I like to use for it, because you will see something and it's fucking weird as shit. Like when I did it, like I just remember just being fucking blown away, like how clear everything was. And like,
Really?
it's like, okay, look down yourself. What are you wearing? Like, what do you see around you? Who, who's talking to you? What's your name? And like, dude, all this shit just comes into your head. It's
Really?
Yeah, it's the weirdest fucking
Now,
thing.
is there any substances that are being employed to acquire this, or is this just au naturel?
Oh no, au natural, man.
Really?
Yeah, dude,
See,
I
I
was
have a
completely
hard time with
100% sober.
I have a hard time with hypnosis too, right? Like, I
Yeah,
think you can only be hypnotized if you want to be, or if you accept it, or if you allow yourself to be. And I think I'm so skeptical that I almost laugh at hypnotists. Like,
you should, because then you need to get to that point where you experience one.
but then it changes your life,
Because
right? Where you're
that's what
like,
I was. I don't believe any of this shit. Like I'm from professional wrestling, dude. I don't believe fucking 95% of anything I see and 90% of anything I hear.
oh man,
And dude, like, yeah, dude, it was. And so the only people, everyone can get hypnotized unless you are a narcissist or um, you have schizophrenia. Those are the
really?
only two people that cannot be hypnotized.
I
Everybody
need
else can
my
get
ex to go
hypnotized.
in and try to be hypnotized, because
Yeah,
I'm
right.
pretty sure
That'll
she's a
tell you.
clinical narcissist.
That will tell you if she's a narcissist or
Wow.
not. Like,
I'm gonna have to try
yeah.
this. Yeah, we're gonna have
Mhm.
to talk more on this. You're gonna have to introduce me
Yeah.
to this.
If not me, somebody else, man.
So did you become a hypnotist now, or
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've been
you
hypnotist for like,
hypnotize people.
yeah, for like a little over 5 years now.
Really?
Once I got kind of out of wrestling, I got into
So hold on. Now this
hypnosis.
opens up a whole new thing. See, I admittedly suck at research. I never,
You don't need to, man. I don't research people, and I don't want people to research me
you
on
were
this
a
because I want
wrestler?
this. Yeah, yeah, I was. You can tell by my fucking statue. Like, man, I was
I
obviously.
see it now.
Uh,
That's all I
uh,
can see is like,
yeah,
wow, okay.
yeah.
So
Um,
let's have that discussion. 90s,
90s.
WCW or WWE?
I was WWE, man. Like because yeah, I don't know. Well, as a little kid, um, we lived out. My dad worked in like he worked for a company. So back in the 80s, they had these like ice cream bars that had for WWF guys that had like the person on them. Let me see if I can.
I actually think I remember what you're talking back when they had the wrestling buddies. Remember those?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's
like
when we
red
were
or
all WWF fans because I think
yeah.
WCW wasn't even a thing then. But
What were you?
I was WCW. Well, so I was
You
WWF when I was a
yeah.
kid. Well, as a little kid, the Randy Savage days, the Hulk Hogan's, the Ultimate Warrior. That day
Yeah.
I was WWF, but I fell off from it probably when I was 10
A
10 or 11
lot of
years old.
people. Yeah.
And then I rediscovered it in 1997. And I remember rediscovering it because it was the same time the NWO first came out.
What's
And
getting
so
huge.
I was watching Monday Nitro and
Yeah.
I didn't realize the WWF WCW thing at the time because this is the first time I was seeing it. And I was probably 13, 14, 15 maybe. Um, but I remember Hogan was walking out with, or no, Eric Bischoff was walking out. And
Yeah.
up on the rafters was Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. And
Oh
this
shit.
was the first time the NWO was coming out. And they were like, what's going on? And I remember, I think it was Larry Zabisco was the commentator with the other asshole, and I don't remember his name. And they were like, what's happening here? And then Eric Bischoff came down, and then Hogan come out. And he comes out and he's got this black beard and it's like, that's not the Hogan I remember. It's Hollywood
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan. And they came down and I was like, okay, I'm interested. And then here comes DDP. And I'm like, DDP mesmerized me because his song was Nirvana.
Nirvana.
And then I remember Bill Goldberg came out and I'm like, who is this son of a bitch? And Raven and all that. And so I just got stuck. And now I'm
Yeah.
stuck in WCW, right? And I didn't even know that WWF was a thing. I didn't realize that there were two different businesses. I thought that it had just become this because here's Hogan, here's Savage, here's Sting, here's all the wrestlers I remember. Didn't realize there were two different things. And so when I go to prison in 97, and that's when I realized that WWF Raw is a thing, right? The Attitude Era is really kicking in. We got Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Legion of Doom and all these guys. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't realize there was two of them. And I don't know why, but I was just a WCW fan, right? I'm like, well, I'm not watching. This is crap. This is crap wrestling. This has nothing to do with this. Ain't got nothing on my boys Goldberg and Papa Pump and NWO. And I mean, NWO dominated Monday night. And then I'm seeing that these two are beefing on Monday night. You got Monday Night Raw and you got Monday Nitro. And I picked my team. And then, of course, I was locked up with a bunch of young ass punks. And so we were all picking sides. And then The Rock changed the game for me because I loved The Rock, right? Like, okay, I'm going to start watching WWF now. And so we would have two TVs. We'd have WCW here and then we'd have WWF over there. And then, of course, WCW went down. You see Shane McMahon coming in and it's like, okay, so now I'm watching WWE and then we're seeing Get the F Out. And I'm like, why is that? Oh, because the World Wildlife Federation doesn't like it. And it's like, what? Okay. And and then I just evolved and obviously WWE became a machine and shut down WCW. And that was the evolution. So I was a big wrestling fan for a long time.
I was too. I fucking so when I was so from like 1990 or so, I think it was when it was 90 or 91. They put in like a new boxing wrestling commission in Oregon, and
Really?
they didn't allow any professional wrestling to happen in Oregon because of steroids and shit. Like when the steroid stuff went down. So like from 91 until like 2004, 2005 or something, there was no like professional wrestling that came to Oregon at all.
Really?
So yeah, so I didn't like, get to go to any of those like any of those live shows. I went to the first one I went to after like, seeing them as a kid and shit was I went to Houston and I went to WrestleMania. Um and that was like 2001. That was fucking cool as shit.
I've never been to a live one, but I imagine
It-
it's got to
yeah.
be a spectacle.
Yeah, I mean it was like 70,000 people in Houston.
That's
Um
insanity.
yeah, dude, it was
I've
crazy
had
shit.
when I was running I had a club I was running in 2018 in Menor, Ohio. It was called Music Links, and we had um wrestling there. We would have the little wrestling,
Dude, it's so
micro wrestling.
so
And
fucking crazy. I've never seen so much from so lack of fucking better term from doing so little. Uh
no pun intended.
no pun intended. I went to one up in Idaho like a year or two ago. And dude, fucking them just walking out, getting up on the ropes, going like this. I haven't heard a pop that loud in any wrestling that show that I have been on for at least 5, 6 years. Like just from them doing nothing, let alone them going out and fucking doing some move. Like,
Dude, it's pretty good though, right? Like,
yeah,
let me
it's
see if I can
amazing.
find my saved videos on here because I have some really cool. I have one like I refed one because I
How'd
ran the
that go?
club. It was freaking cool. I'm seeing if I can find it. I don't know how to find your saved videos on the computer. But let me see if I can find these because I mean I had some good times with these guys. It was incredible, and I was the ref. Let me see where. How do you find your saved videos on Facebook on a
That is a good
computer?
question.
Your videos, and
They
so
um they
it'll
sell out fucking everywhere. There's like
yeah,
a few
and
different ones of them, a few
there is,
different
and so I knew
like
we had the Micro Wrestling Federation
okay, yeah.
that would come through our club, but we also had the big guys. So there was a couple underground wrestling organizations that we had that would come through, and that's where I met like Glacier,
Oh
who
shit.
was a legend, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
remember Glacier, the Sub-Zero of wrestling.
Yeah, right.
And then we had Jeff Hardy's band come in and play, and so I got
How
to
was Jeff Hardy's band? What was that like? Was it
stick to
experimental?
wrestling, man. Stick to
Yep.
wrestling. Yeah, it wasn't that good. I mean, it
Did it draw okay?
um yeah and no. I mean, there was I mean, it wasn't he didn't pull that many people. But I mean, so you had some dedicated wrestling fans for sure
Yeah. That's
that came and it wasn't he didn't pull as many as you would have expected, but um I'm wondering if I can find this because I'm in that right era. I just don't know. There's so many. I was this guy that went live every 5 minutes on
on Facebook.
Facebook, right? Because I just learned it, and I'm like, oh, okay. Again, I was locked up most of my damn life, so I learned all this technology, and just it was a little crazy. And so there's just so many freaking videos, and I don't know how to organize any of it. I don't know how to put it all into some type of organized form so I can find things. The only thing I've learned to do is save a video, and then I didn't do it on the PC, so I don't know how to find it on PC. Um, and so that's fun. But I'm in that right era, and so maybe I'll find it here in a second. Maybe I
Okay.
won't. Um,
I've saved a lot of stuff and is saved, but you're trying to find it again is a whole
Yeah,
different fucking ball game.
and now as I evolve and grow in my career and what I'm doing, seeing all these videos. I go back and I wonder which one of these is going to come back to bite me in the ass, right? Which
Yeah.
one of the when did I do something dumb or say something stupid on here that somebody's going to come back and be like, "See, he's a piece of shit." Like, I've never done anything really horrible, right, to people. Like I've been a relatively decent dude. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, I was the
That
lead
changes
singer
every day.
of a rap metal band. So I mean, we were living a rock star life. I may have cussed somebody out at some point or said something stupid or and you just wonder like which one of these is going to come back to bite me in the ass. And
So,
I don't dwell on that either, because if you're that hard up in life to try to make me look like a bad person, then I'll just sit down and have a conversation. And this is it's
yeah.
not that freaking terrible. There he is. So I
Right.
found the Jeff Hardy one. Okay, so here we go. Let's share a screen, and I'll I'll
Do I
show
need
you.
to hit something again?
No, I think I'm already in there. Here we go. We're gonna share this.
All right.
Are you seeing
Oh,
it?
I see the up on the left. Yeah. I don't know why I can't get sound from you though. Maybe I have to, I don't know. But
He had to say it twice. Watch. Yeah, that.
oh, there we go. Now I can hear it a little bit. I can't.
VIPs at 5:30. 5:30. Get on down here. Shows at like 7. We got Cheers Cleveland. They're awesome. Table Under Fire. Come on down here. Check out Jeff Hardy in the building. Come on down. Y'all know what's that. I think he didn't like it because I'm a bit of a diva, so I didn't spotlight him. You see, I just kind of left him in the back, and he's per oxygen, Jeff Hardy's own, and I'm like, yeah, nobody's not that impressed. Here's another one. Here was the wrestling that we had. These were the big boys. All right, here we go.
Oh shit, someone's gonna get chopped.
Now that I think about it, this guy looked like you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not fucking. This is in
That's not
where?
me.
This in Ohio?
Yeah. It's outside of Cleveland. And like they tore stuff up, man. They did a really good job. Right? They were all over the arena or all over the venue. And I mean, we made the space work.
Yep, as you have to with that. I see a little guy.
Yeah, here's our little people.
Yeah, there they are. Dude, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, the little fellas. I'm trying. This is all the little people right here.
Yeah.
All of these. I'm trying to find the one where I was reffing it though.
They were cool as shit, man. Like
some of the sound is really bad on there. So don't judge me for the sound, but I can't find where I was reffing, but it was classic. And yeah, these guys were so fun, man. It was such a good time to bring people in, and it was a cool environment, and I thoroughly enjoyed that little run of my life, where bringing these guys, and it was a blast from the past, right? And I'm still friends with some of the wrestlers to this day, and it's cool to see where they're going. Like the little micro wrestling has really expanded, right? Like they've got 4 or 5 different companies now that are touring the country.
Yeah, dude, they're selling out everywhere. Far in advance. They're fucking selling out. And I couldn't be happier for them, man. Like you watch fucking any other promotion trying to do what they're doing, there's no comparison. It's pretty fucking unreal.
And so now how do we beat that? How do you go to the next level? What do we do? We have to make like I don't even know where you go. Like you do like handcuff wrestling or something, and
maybe as long as they're fucking involved.
Right. All you can use is your feet. You can't
Yeah.
do it. Feet wrestling. I mean,
Feet
there's
wrestling.
there's
That
have you-
that would you'd be
there-
on your Twitch
some of
channel
the
or whatever.
yes, you'd probably get all kinds of people to watch it. You don't even just
Yeah.
dress up their feet and you just do a little intro. And
Yeah.
it's a foot coming in like.
You know, I bet that would do pretty fucking well, man. Like if you had that, like if someone like put together foot wrestling with that, like you could fucking make a lot of money on
You
that.
could probably get away with like the thumb wrestling championships, right?
Yeah.
And like all you have is 2 cameras, and you do like a whole intro with the thumb, like you know what I mean? Do a little intro music, and then they come down, they face off, do a little monologue. So there's tension, and
Yeah.
people would tune in for that. Next thing you know, you got people getting their thumbs tattooed, and oh man, we just created that right here
Yeah.
on the
think,
podcast.
I think it has to happen now. It's the
Right.
rule number 34 of the internet.
Right. Right.
I
Because
mean,
if you
eventually it'll be
don't, somebody
formed.
listening is going to steal that and be like, oh man, I'm going to go
Right.
do that. And next
Yeah.
thing you know, it's a thing. Like the slap boxing, like the slapping thing has become a thing.
How
right?
is that
Like,
a thing? It's
I have-
fucking crazy.
it is so nuts. And you have seen people get their soul slapped out of them.
Right.
Like some of those slaps are epic.
Yeah. I don't know how long you can do that for. How long, what the career expectancy of slap
Right.
boxer is. But
Bro, they just sit there trading slaps.
yeah.
Oh,
And
I
try
mean,
not to move. The
Right.
goal is to not move and fucking go with it. Like it's just fucking force just
Jeez.
stopped.
And you see some of these slaps are like and some of the some of the gifts that they make out of them are just legendary. Like you see the one guy get slapped and his soul goes flying out of his body and the glasses come down, boom, ding, 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 ding. It's like, oh my god, this stuff is hilarious. Some of the stuff they do is insane. And I mean, they have left-handed only boxing. Right. I just saw that the other day where like all they use is this hand and they're just boxing with each other, and they're like, you can't go anywhere. You're in this little small spot and the guy's reffing and you're just beating the shit out of each other. Like the things they do for entertainment is insane.
So recently I ref this show and they have like 10-foot ring. Like it's smaller, I think, than the freaking micro league. Like
Yeah.
it's like but just trying to be in the middle of that shit, like, and not get hit by anything is fucking hard enough. Like it's like you can take one step and you're at the other side. Like you do one step and then you go and you turn, you hit the ropes. Normally it's like 2.5 or so, 1.5, or maybe like 2.5. But yeah, like one step, you're fucking all the way across the ring. And
Wow.
yeah. And so
It's not, have you seen like the 30-man MMA fights?
who the fuck thought that one up too? Like how do you not
it's
get
literally
punched in the back of the head?
It's literally a gang fight. It's like 2 groups of 13, 14 dudes, and they're just brawling. Bam! It's like, oh my god. They have the what is it? The full armor MMAs. Have you seen those? Like where they have full armor and they're like in a boxing ring and they just beat the living shit out of each other they got full on knight armor on and they just go in there and go at it. Like, what?
How did we get there?
How did we get there?
How did we get there? Like what? I feel like it jumped quite a bit. Like there was a jump from where it was, even like hitting people with all kinds of shit and fucking professional wrestling to what is going on now with this. Like it's okay, we're close, man. Here come the Lions.
Right.
The Lions are next,
how long
man.
will it be before we build a Coliseum and a man goes one-on-one with a bear and just how long before we get to that?
Yeah,
right?
I'm waiting.
It's coming, right? You
it
wonder
won't be
where are you going to go from here? Like how do we evolve from here? Because we're already trying to get, where you see AI and robots they're trying to implement these things. And I think I saw one video where there's like a new sparring robot that they've created.
Holy
it's an AI robot that spars with you. And these guys are boxing with it. And like, how long before the future was predicted yet again? And we have cyborgs running around and then we have cyborg rights and we have to get into there are people too. Well, technically they're not, they're robots.
Yeah.
You know, they have to have rights as well because we give them the ability to show emotion. And the next thing you know, it's iRobot. Right?
Yeah, and they got them on the fucking there was a football game that was going on, like one of the first games, I think it was with the Chargers. They had these two AI robots that were in the crowd, which I thought was going to be something that was going to happen when fucking all the shutdowns happened, but they would just be like, you know, they wouldn't be like actual robots. They'd just be like things that be put in post production. But the robots you could see, like the AI robots, you could see them. It was like, you know, actual human size robots, those ones. But you see
Really?
them, you see them watching the fucking, like, around the stands and seeing how people are, you know, reacting to plays that are going on. And just to be able to
What?
see how to, the Chargers game. Let me
That's
see if I can pull this
insanity.
up.
And then you wonder how far are we from Skynet? How far are we away from
Not too
Terminator?
far.
Right? Like,
Where
when is this going to come? We have self-driving
well,
cars. We have, you know, people that can put on a jetpack and take off flying. Now we have AI robots that can walk around and look human.
yeah, there's a thing that I
Human.
invested in a while again, uh, back, that's basically Skynet,
Oh
which
man.
is great. You know, why wouldn't I? I was like, well, you know, if it's
Right.
gonna happen, I may as well
I might as well make
fucking
some money off it.
get paid on this. But now they have it in fucking in New York, in the down in the subway, and it's like this uh, 900 450 pound like thing that can, because like now they have a thing that they were using it to get like fare jumpers to jump over the turnstiles to get into the subway. And now like they have a thing, it'll go in. If you've been on the subway before and you've used your phone, it will figure out the photo of you. And then like before you even get onto the fucking subway, it will have fucking deducted money from your bank account. If you're whatever bank accounts or credit
Really?
cards attached to it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just fucking on it now.
And a
Take-
different kind of fan, for sure, was
Oh.
spotted
Uh-oh.
in the
I
stands
can't
at
see the
SoFi for
screen. Hold
Sunday's
on.
matchup
Can't
I
see the
gotta,
between the
screen?
LA
nope,
Chargers
you're
and
good.
the
Hang
Miami
on.
Dolphins.
Okay.
Yeah, their
Gotta
presence was
move you around.
freaking out some people there. They were really buzzing about it on social media. Take a look at this. Imagine getting to your seat
Holy
and then
crap.
realizing you are seated next to an AI robot. In true LA fashion, the bots were there as a promotional stunt. It's for an upcoming movie, The Creator. It shocked fans, though, and they were posting on it, social media about it. And of course, that was
Oh.
even more advertising for
So
the film.
I mean, so I'm giving it more advertising now. So,
Wow.
but I mean, it was, yeah,
That's
it's
nuts.
fucking
Here it
weird. And
comes. Here it comes.
yeah, like
Because
I was
they're
like,
going to get to a point where, I mean, GPS and navigation is so on point, right? And
right,
the radars are so on point. Now you teach one of those, or you just program it to be able to drive a car, and
uh-huh,
it's over. Now you're going to
yeah,
eliminate truck driving jobs because you have a computer that knows how to operate another computer, and it can drive the vehicle because it has all the radars and sensors, so it knows if anything's around it. It knows how to stay in a lane, and you just have some fat dude in his mom's basement that's driving and overseeing from his computer at home. And I'm probably creating the business as we say it, but
well,
yeah.
like Domino's is doing it. They have the driverless cars, and you go and it'll like, yeah, drive without anyone in it, and it'll drive up to your house, and then you get to the pulls up to your house, the car, and you go and you put your phone up to it to, validate that it's you. It opens up a window and you pull your pizzas out, and then the car drives back to the fucking store.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, we're almost
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we're there. We're
We're,
fucking
we're literally eliminating the necessity for humans, right? And
yeah.
at
Well,
what
like
point does
this.
that become Skynet?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, podcasting, like,
Sure.
dude,
Sure.
we can get off this right now. We can have if we even just our voice, to make it simple, have our voice be cloned, and like have our clone voice make podcasts about, like, if we go and fill in what we've been talking about for the last fucking hour and a half,
Yeah.
and just let it go for infinity, and
Yeah.
let it fucking make endless episodes of this,
Yeah.
talking
It's
about whatever.
yeah, and it's nuts, right? Like
Yeah.
then you'll be able to buy your own like mini robot, and and it does everything for you. What I need is I need 4 of me, clone me exactly, give me 4 of me that I get to control from my phone. And I will take over the world.
Yeah,
It's go ahead, give me
not
3 more of me.
not far, man.
Yeah,
I'm trying. I want it for my social media. That's the one I'm looking for.
It's insanity. And you know what? So they have these things, and I've been watching them. I don't know how to employ them, but they have these AI websites. And I watched this guy who built the ultimate AI setup, and he used like 5 different AI websites and somehow linked them all into each other so that they feed in his entire social media, and his entire content creation career is done for him. He doesn't have to do anything. He built it once. And so like in the morning, the one AI sets off the other one that says alarm, wake up, scan. And then that one goes through and it scans all the relevant websites that's relevant to what he's producing. And it grabs up specific information, and then it sends it to another website, and that website takes that information and chops it up and makes it a bunch of shorts and reels and blah blah blah, and sends it over to another website that does all the posting for him, and then another website that promotes it all. And he literally doesn't have to do anything. It creates all of it.
One time setup fee.
Right. And I'm like, dude, it's genius, right? Like you can't be mad at the guy. And I mean, you understand like the whole SAG-AFTRA thing that's going on, and you know, in Hollywood. And I totally get it from the actors' perspectives. I get it. I get from the writers' perspectives. I get it. But you can't be mad at the person that employs AI, right? Because I mean, we do live in a capitalist society where everybody gets to try to achieve the American dream and earn a good amount of wealth for yourself. And so these people are just trying to do this. And why do I have a thing ticking over here? That's
AI, man. Yeah, I heard you talking about it.
Got distracted. But you know, and you can't be mad at the people that employ this stuff, because it does make your life easier. It allows your productivity to go up. Like I use AI several different times here for things, and it increases my productivity. It doesn't replace my creativity. It just assists my productivity. And so I mean, I get it, and I'm not opposed to it. And like Gary Vaynerchuk said, if you don't learn it, like it or hate it, you're going to get left behind. You have to,
it was like computers,
right? If you're in the creation game and you're trying to make a career out of these kinds of things, or at least make a living, you have to stay with it, or you're going to get left behind. It's just the nature of the beast, right? You'll get swept behind, and it's AI. It doesn't have feelings. So it's not going to be like, hey, come use me, I'll help you. Right? You got to put in the work.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let AI put in the rest of this work. And so where are people gonna find you here on the internet, or find your AI?
So just take this little name right here, and if you pop this name into Google, it will direct you to everything that I do. Period. It's just Sonny Von Cleveland anywhere. You can pump it into any platform, anything. I do my best to get everywhere. I suck at it because I'm only human, but
you don't need to be anymore.
And that's right. Yeah. Just Google me. You'll find it.
Perfect. Well, hey, dude, thank you so much for being on, man. I'm glad.
No doubt. What a fun.
Whatever the fuck we got to. Yeah.
Well, I don't even recall the actual thing starting. We were just like, so let's do it. And
that's how it works.
Good episode, man. I appreciate your time, my friend, and I look forward to doing it again. It's a good time. We should.
Yeah.
We have so much more to talk about. We could go for hours.
I've definitely had some people where it's pulling teeth. I won't mention names on those ones, but you're not, man. I've had some where it's got a couple word answers, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yep. I had those people.
This is going 21 minutes.
Right. This is going to be a short one. I had one person that, because I do a pre-screen for my podcast, I send them a questionnaire, and one, because my podcast is called The Choice Effect, and I go through about the pivotal choice you've made in your life that took your life from where it was to where it is. And on this, and I won't say a name either, just in case on the oddball chance you hear it.
Right.
But I said, how did this choice affect your life, or how did it change your life? I don't think it really did.
Well, you'd be a perfect guest on my show then.
Right. Well, then, you're a prime candidate. Let me get right back to you.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Good
Yeah.
to see you, Rusty. I appreciate
Yeah.
you, my guy.
You too. Cool. Have a great fucking day.
You too, brother. See
All
ya.
right. See ya. All right, dude. Yeah, that's fucking easy. Easy, easy, easy. Easy is his name. And the boy's coming straight out of Compton. Um, Google him. Google me, bitch, as Ice Cube says. But don't Google me, bitch, or Ice Cube. Google him. So thank you, everyone, for being here on the Public Access Podcast on the Quantum Global Broadcasting Network, QGBN. And that is the show, man. Boom.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Ernest! Ernest! Ernest!
Yes, Pee-wee.
You brought the snacks, right?